Coach John Sanderson, according to a university source.
We up in here.
Reports the incident happened
Andy on the boards telling y'all to call in. They go Robin. Robin just finished. Yeah.
Great show.
We about to get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. God damn it. Oh. Oh. There we go. What up, y'all?
Injured in a car accident or at work? Call the accident guys. 877-888-GUYS.
What up?
Or go to calltheaccidentguys.com.
Everybody good? You already know what you gotta do. You gotta hit the like button, all right?
And we have a gift for you. Visit us online at kbla.store for holiday savings of
You gotta hit the
20%
like button, you
off
feel me?
all of our KBLA swag. For the best in merch, gift ideas, books, media, and more, log on to kbla.store right now. And be sure to check out our KBLA team favorites at kbla.store today. That's kbla.store for all our official merch on your favorite talk radio station, KBLA Talk 1580, at 20% off, but only during the holiday season. Happy holidays.
Oh.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ron
Let's get it.
exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story. So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games.
They say I'm aging backwards. I don't believe it.
We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
Here we go. Hit that like button. Logic, sir. Thank you for coming in here. Odara, Iwaki, Alaje. Lalu. The messenger for Arumila. Search first gatekeeper. Fighter, shapeshifter, and he'll protect your home. To chase away evil forces. So long as you bring the offerings.
Hey guys, Heidi Preep here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to spend some time talking about a word that has been super instrumental to me over the past 6 months or so in my attachment healing work. And that term is self-abandonment. So I first heard this term in some Facebook group that I was a part of that talked about attachment work, attachment healing. And I really liked it as soon as I heard it. Like, it resonated somewhere inside of me. I didn't really know what the term meant, but I decided I'm going to take a period of time and just notice, when do I feel like I am self-abandoning? When do I start to notice that I am not particularly showing up for myself and being on my own team in life? And how can I start to rearrange my life in such a way that I am doing that as little as humanly possible? So this video is the result of about 6 months of me putting myself under observation in this way and really noticing some of what I believe to be the common experiences in which many of us automatically self-abandon, often without even realizing it, and start operating from a kind of inauthentic part of ourselves. And we are going to talk about how to stop doing that. So I define self-abandonment as any situation in which we are fragmenting a part of ourselves and leaving a very important component of ourselves at the door in order to usually get validation or acceptance or approval out of other people. Now, of course, there are situations in which we all do this a little bit, right? So most of us, when we go to work in the morning, there is some part of ourselves that we leave at the door in order to show up and give back in a way that puts the focus on the company or the other people that we're serving, right? So that's natural to an extent. When we are parenting, when we are meeting new people, when we are in some sort of social role that requires certain responsibilities to be met, most of us naturally do a little bit of leaving ourselves at the door, right? So this is part of just being a human in society, absolutely. However, self-abandonment is what I define as a prolonged period of fragmenting ourselves and leaving really important aspects of ourselves at the door. So those really important, really vital parts of ourselves can be things like our true thoughts and opinions and perspectives, our true emotions and vulnerabilities and inner experiences, our true needs and wants and desires, right? So often, when we are self-abandoning, what starts to happen is that these fragmented parts of ourselves that we have left at the door start showing up as anxiety, as depression, as an inability to concentrate, or as self-sabotaging behaviors. Because I have the personal belief that there is no such thing as self-sabotage. Most of the time when we think we are self-sabotaging, what's actually happened is we have abandoned a piece of ourselves that knows it is important for our vitality, and so that piece is coming out screaming.
Ooh. Listen, hey man, I promise you, 90% of my day is spent in silence. Boy, but when I sit down behind this microphone, Lord have mercy, I come to life. Because most of my day, I am ruminating about relationship discussions. Now, today was, like any other day in the cigar lounge where I'm sitting cultivating topics. And this topic rose out of a discussion that I was having with a young lady who brought it to my attention. An issue that was going on with her and her dude. And, once you start talking to me, my mind get to running. And it sparked a topic for tonight. The self-abandonment piece is huge, especially as it relates to tonight's topic. Emotional impermanence. When somebody finds it really difficult to hold in mind the love and bond they have with someone when that person is not with them or actively reassuring them. Emotional impermanence. To me, I liken that to self-abandonment. They can't maintain the feeling for you if they're not being reassured. Now, some definitions of emotional impermanence talks about physical distance. But sometimes you can have somebody right in your face, right in your space, right in your place, that exhibits emotional impermanence. In other words, they're not present. In other words, they're not connected. In other words, they're not invested. And even if they're in your presence, it feels like they're a million miles away. Let's talk about it. When it comes to relationships, this is heavy, man. People want to know, why do relationships fail? Why do 80% of relationships fail? I'm not just talking about marriages. We already know that's a 50-50 deal. When you add in the legal separations, right? That's a 50-50 deal. There's, the marriage divorce rate is down in the 40s now. But if you add the 10 to 12% of legal separations, you're still at 50. Right? Listen, when it comes to relationships, how long is a good thing supposed to last? Oh, God. People have this Disney concept that a good relationship is supposed to last forever. Is it? I think impermanence is built into the whole situation. What is emotional impermanence? And is it affecting your relationship? How do most people deal with the impermanence of a good relationship? Most people don't even think about the end of it. Most people don't even think about the relationship coming to an end. They don't even think about the impermanence. Impermanence can manifest as an illness. Impermanence can manifest as a loss of employment. Ooh-wee. How do most people deal with the impermanence of a good relationship? We know how most people deal with the impermanence of a bad one. And typically bad is a funny word because bad just means you're not getting what you want in many cases. Right? Right? In many cases. We're not talking about the ones where it is a bad relationship, meaning you're being abused, you're being disrespected, you're being marginalized, minimized, you're not being heard, you're not being seen. That's a bad relationship. But many people will call a relationship bad simply if they're just not getting what they want. How do you cope with emotional impermanence? Is seeking romantic love from another a form of self-abandonment? That's heavy. Especially if you lose yourself in a relationship. You get lost, emotionally enmeshed. That's self-abandonment right there. True or false? By embracing the impermanence of relationships, we can approach them with greater authenticity and openness. We can communicate our needs and desires more honestly and listen to our partners without fear of judgment. We can also appreciate the fleeting nature of romantic love and savor each moment without the pressure of needing to make it last a lifetime. This mindset can lead to deeper connections, increased intimacy, and greater emotional resilience. Sounds like stay in the moment. Stop being possessive. You don't own your partner. Stop being judgmental, uber critical. Stop being unforgiving and appreciate each good moment you have. Do you know how many good moments get beat up by bad moments? Let me say it another way. Do you know how many good moments get beat up by bad memories? Ooh. 1-800-920-1580. You know this is a national discussion, and I want to talk to everybody. How do you deal with impermanence in relationship? If your life is on a timer, that means your partner's life is on a timer. And typically you guys are on different timers. Not only is your life on a timer, the relationship is on a timer. Right? Is your love on a timer? 1-800-920-1580. Agree or disagree? We are conditioned to believe that relationships should last forever. However, accepting impermanence is an essential ingredient in relationship success. If you accepted impermanence, right? And you just said every moment matters. Every single moment matters, right? I don't want to lose a second. I want to appreciate every second. You see, emotional impermanence comes when people feel like they're not being acknowledged. People feel like they're not being reassured. People feel distance in the relationship regardless of the proximity of their partner. So emotional impermanence represents an ability or an inability to not be able to sustain the feelings of love, the bonds, the closeness, the meaning of the relationship. True or false? When we cling to a false sense of permanence in relationship, we risk neglecting our own needs and ignoring warning signs that a relationship may not be working. Woo. We may also resist necessary endings, causing us to prolong painful situations or cling to situations that are no longer healthy. This can lead to feelings of resentment, anger, and hurt, and ultimately damage our mental health and well-being. Let's address that. First and foremost, understand that we are in a spiritually immature society. So anything that doesn't feel good, we label as not good for us. Do you understand? So any relationship that challenges us, that hurts us, that causes mental perturbations, automatically, I don't want to feel this anymore. I want to feel something different. Not knowing that relationships are divinely fine-tuned to stretch you outside of your comfort zone. Whenever you get outside your comfort zone, which is your known, you're going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to feel unease, right? That doesn't necessarily mean you're in a toxic situation. We live in a society today that is highly technologically advanced, and wherever there is an advancement in technology, what you're also seeing is a rise in convenience. So many of us have transposed that convenience on top of relationship. The relationship should be convenient to my expectations, to my desired outcomes. It should be a convenient vehicle that gets me from point A to what I want. That's simply not how it works. I see toxic relationships for what they really are. Toxic, right? People who destroy their partner's spirit, right? People who tear their partners down. And listen, I'm not here to moralize. I've done it. But I do believe that relationships are designed to go through some of those things in order to build you up. Many people, especially nowadays, don't have the time, energy, or patience to go through that class. How do most people deal with the impermanence of a good relationship? When we come forward, you already know the phone lines are going to be click, clack, click, clack, clicking. So get in here and talk to your brother. It's Monday. I want to talk to you. Yo, who was that who hit the super chat? I want to say thank you to that brother. Tommy Hooks. Thank you, Tommy. Attila, this topic. Yo, Zoe just got beat up by her fiance. I just told her I'm sorry to hear that, even though she dogged me every chance she got. Hey, listen, bro. Listen. Your child is over there. And shit, you should probably go over there and try to set some kind some type of security measure just for your child. You may not appreciate the woman, but in order to make sure your child is safe, you should be on call for that too. Because a negative environment for the mother represents a negative environment for the child. Despite you feeling like she dogged you out, in order to preserve the peace in your child's life, you should be on call. See, a lot of men think, oh, that's simping, or that's weak, or that's whatever. That's your child. And if your child lives with its mother, if your child live with their mother, and she's unprotected, you should be the first line of protection. Live in a minute. Thank you. Everybody follow that guy, Tommy. Follow his movement. Everybody hit the super chat. It's only 34 people in here. Can everybody drop a little something on the super chat? We would appreciate it greatly if you would support this content. All right? And don't forget, call in. Oh, I will. Thank you. I can't check it while I'm broadcasting. We're using the little phone here. Thank you.
That are looking through psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is why most relationships don't last. This episode is specifically directed to folks out there who are looking for a long-term relationship, but seem to be having trouble getting past the 6-month mark. You get involved with someone you like, things seem to be going well, but then a few months in, the relationship peters out and you go your separate ways. Why might this be the case? Now, before I answer this question, please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It costs nothing, takes only a second, and it's how you can support me in my mission to deliver free, high-quality content to the world. So thank you for your help. The reason why most relationships don't last, why most relationships do not get past the 6-month mark, is the crisis of disillusionment. Let me explain what this is. In the beginning, all relationships are fundamentally projected fantasy. In the vast majority of cases, you don't actually know who this other person is. You spent a few days or even just a few hours together, gleaned a little information, and filled the gaps in your knowledge base in with what you would like to find there. And this is true almost in direct proportion to the degree to which you are attracted to the other person. The more attracted you are, the more likely you're going to fill in the gaps in your knowledge base with positive attributes. This is called the halo effect. This means that if you think she's really hot, and you have no other evidence to the contrary, You're also liable to believe that she's kind and smart and sexy and interested in you and all the things that you would like to see in this other person. And if you think he's really handsome, you're liable to fill in the gaps in your knowledge base with the projection that he's also committed and kind and family-oriented and exciting and generous and all the things that you might be looking for in a partner. You understand? Now, in the first few months, while people are generally still projecting their fantasies, they will also work to protect their fantasies. They see signs that things might not be what they appear to be. But because they prefer the fantasy to which they are attracted, they tend to rationalize and minimize these signs early on in the courtship. This is why people will so often ignore even obvious red flags when they are very attracted to another person. But here's the thing. It eventually happens that a preponderance of evidence accumulates, or an unavoidable manifestation of evidence to the contrary presents itself, and the projected fantasy can no longer sustain the assault of reality. This is the crisis of disillusionment. At this
I've been saying it. We date images. We can't date a human being. If a man such as myself comes into a relationship and tells you from the beginning, I'm God and the devil at the same time. I'm good and bad. I'm right and wrong. I'm flawed. I'm a human being who is prone to making mistakes. Because the fantasy and the attraction is on high, those words fall on a deaf soul. A deaf soul. The soul can't even hear. I'm saying, hey, don't aggrandize any positive attribute you see or like in me. It gets ignored. This is why relationships don't last. How often have you ever heard somebody say in a relationship, I feel like I don't know you? That's because you don't know me. You haven't been listening. You filter out what doesn't fit the image or the desired goal and outcome. Again, relationships are spiritual. People are coming into your life to reveal aspects of yourself. That is the primary goal of an intimate relationship. Everything else is hors d'oeuvre. Everything else is a side dish. Everything else is mashed potatoes, green beans, and corn. Ain't no more corn. You understand? Everything else is a side dish. The main course is, what is this person going to reveal about me now? You say, what is the purpose of that? Because there's aspects of you that can only be reconciled by you that comes from the mirror of relationships. Play if you want to. When we come forward, I'm going to the phone lines. Tapped in, you know you got to call in. Hey, your brother is on fire tonight. You know, I never wear watches. I've had this watch for some years now. You guys remember I used to wear the red one. Watches are heavy. This is heavy, and I don't like it.
How you feel now? It's still cold?
No, it was cold as hell earlier. Yo, Andy, can you bring me a bottle of water? It don't even matter. Goddess Guru, let's get those super chats popping. Goddess Guru, you should call in. This is a discussion. I'm not here to present as if I'm 100% correct. Logic, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, if everybody did it, we doing something. All the lurkers and lovers, we appreciate y'all. Say what's up. We appreciate y'all. The watch is heavy. I've had it for some years and I've never worn it. And what's crazy is I was looking through a cabinet in my kitchen and I saw the little boxes for the watches, and then I was like, oh shit, there's a watch in here. So I took it to the lounge and had a friend of mine set it. I said, I don't really wear watches. I said, fuck it, I'll wear it. And the reason why I opted to wear the red one is because it had like a cloth band, so it wasn't heavy. This shit is heavy. No, I don't think so. No, I knew who you were talking about. I don't think so. It's all right, but thank you for supporting. Let's all continue to support. You know, we make this thing pop. You feel me? We make this thing happen. All right? It's us. We make this thing happen. Nobody's going to make it happen unless you guys do it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Where my callers at? Y'all gotta call in. Y'all got to call in. This is a conversation, a national discussion. You've got to call in. She said you don't even digest corn. It just passes through. It's true. You know we ain't heard from Yogi Fish in a long time. That's who I want to hear from. Tommy Hooks can call in. Phil Brad, what up? Hello. Eddie C. Floyd, what up? Been listening and learning. Yes, man, as we all do. But when you call in, we learning from you as well. There go Gilbreath. Come on, man. John Gilbreath, the second. Truemonger, come on. Just for the love. Just pure love for the show. Thank you, brother. True Measy, True Monger. You already know what it is. Look, man, we already at $72.92. 34 minutes into the show. That's great news for the show. We appreciate everybody who is sharing. We appreciate everybody who can share. And we appreciate everybody who is acting on that ability to share. Brandon Terry, yes, much gratitude. Brandon, you should call in. Don't be afraid to call in and share your thoughts. Yes.
Clip after the drop.
Just had a fight over something trivial told. We really had confrontation, and they said that it was fun. So I think she get it from my mom. The beating is passed down from home. To the day when I'm calling out a trouble. She took me physically, listen, I'm not sorry. I got problems. You got the type of place that I need. Get the work that you send me. They know all of the time that I need. It's me working on being so crazy. What's the time zone in which I'm easy? So I figured I'd call it early. Turn away down mercy. I got plenty to me. So just lay it back in my hands. Everybody told me
You know that people who live together before they're married are more likely to get divorced, not less likely. And the reason for that is, what exactly are you saying to one another when you live with each other? Well, for now, you're better than anything else I can trick. But I'd like to reserve the right to trade you in, conveniently, if someone better happens to stumble into me. Well, how could someone not be insulted to their core by an offer like that? Now, they're willing to play along with it because they're going to do the same thing with you. Well, that's exactly it. It's like, yeah, I know you're not going to commit to me, so that means you don't value me or our relationship above everything else. But as long as I get to escape if I need to, then I'm willing to put up with that. It's like, that's a hell of a thing. I mean, you might think, how stupid is it to shackle yourself to someone? It's like, it's stupid, man. There's no doubt about that. But compared to the alternatives, it's pretty damn good. Because without that shackling, there are things you will never, ever learn. Because you'll avoid them. You can always leave. And if you can leave, then you don't have to tell each other the truth.
If you can leave, you don't have to tell each other the truth. Relationships. Let me just say this, man. Many relationships don't last because of pride and ego and selfishness. Some people say relationships don't last or a relationship was bad because there was cheating and infidelity. Did you know that couples who revealed infidelity, listen, couples who revealed infidelity got back together at a 57% rate. That's higher than the marriage rate, or higher than the divorce rate. A lot of people think infidelity can ruin a relationship. It absolutely can. But relationships can come back from it. Again, what is the worth of the relationship to you? I'm not talking about being in a relationship with somebody that doesn't respect you. That's with somebody that doesn't hold you in high regard. I'm talking about being in a relationship with a human being. The flip of that is monogamy implies ownership, which fuels the ego. How could you do this to me? I'm just breaking down some of the pitfalls that we run into because we have a Disney-esque mindset about relationships. Oh, we think our partner can give us everything we need. They might be able to give you a lot of what you need, but not everything. We damn sure can't give you what you're supposed to give yourself. We can supplement that, But you can't subsist off of what we give, because then that becomes codependence. We're talking about why relationships don't last. It's because we don't understand the relational construct. It's spirit first, societal second. Many people don't understand that, right? Many people don't understand that. They think they're in a relationship to get what they want. Nope. You're in a relationship to get what you need. And a lot of times getting what you need is coming from the inside out via the reflection you get from your partner. I know people are not ready for that. I know, but I'm going to do it anyway. All right, that's enough of me. Let's get some callers in here. We got them from all over the country. Who's been on the longest? Attila, Houston, Texas. Get in here.
Oh, no. Oh, wow. I didn't think I was going to be first. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm hanging.
Yes, sir. All right. So, you know what this is reminding me of? The Shrouded Lighthouse. Everybody should go buy it. But specifically your chapter on a relationship obsolescence. Make sure I say it right.
Obsolescence, yes. Yes, yes.
And you talked about basically like accepting yourself without judgment. Child, so much talking. And so what it kind of made me think of, you know, when you're talking about how long will a good thing last, I mean, if I'm being completely honest, a good thing for me in the past has really been more about self-delusion. So as long as I'm delusional with myself and how I'm showing up in this relationship, you know, you're delusional within the entire frame of things. And to me, this really extends beyond romantic relationships. Like, if I'm being honest, like, I've experienced this with family, too. You know, I low-key thought I was a good kid. Apparently, I was a troublemaker, but I think it's when I took time to spend time away from my family and really kind of understand why I was performing and acting in a certain way, because that was the character that I was given, and that was kind of what I ran with, thinking that in doing instead of being, that I would gain some sort of favor, if you will, in the knowledge. And so I think I carry that into my romantic relationships as well, because there's only so much encouragement in doing and all of that you can do until you realize that you're actually running from yourself. So, yeah.
So you do understand, and I'm really trying to, you know, drive this point home. You're gonna have to deal with something in every intimate relationship you're in. Your partner is going to irritate some aspect of your spirit. You're going to have to deal with it, right? So look at what we do in this society. The most empowering thing we have in this society, and you can agree or disagree, you tell me. The most empowering thing we have in society as it pertains to relationship is to get rid of our partner. Look, Cardi B just got rid of Offset.
I'm guilty, 100 times guilty.
What about the pretty girl who just got rid of the basketball player? Said he was a narcissist. Shumpert. Tiana Taylor. Listen, everybody got an issue somewhere. Everybody. So we're just gonna keep getting rid. Oh, this issue is too difficult for me to deal with. I'm gonna deal with a diet issue. I'm gonna wait until a diet problem comes on. Ain't no diet problems.
And you know what I think it is really though, like, you know, you say the issue's too much to deal with. I think the issue becomes such that it prevents whatever, like I said, delusion or fantasy you have from ever being real. Like, you realize that this is impossible. Like, there's no way for me to get to Narnia, right? The closet door is closed.
There's no way for me to get to Narnia.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, okay? Narnia is a movie, not in real life. So I really think that that's what it is. Like, if I could speak just really for myself, I'm not going to speak for everyone, but for myself, right, that's really the issue. I think when you realize that, like I said, Narnia is not a real place. Like, it is
the here and now, and it is what you're looking at, and more importantly, it's the things that are being reflected back to you that you don't like, and you can only push them away for so long.
Wait, hold on. I got to address this. Logic Sir, I want you to look at, I'll tell a look at the chat. Logic Sir says everyone you mentioned was a male. Women don't acknowledge their issues. Now, I don't know if I framed it that way. I simply said Cardi B says she's single, which she did. That's how we found out. And then I said Tiana Taylor divorced or is seeking divorce from Iman Shumpert. That's how it was reported. Do you want me to say it in reverse and lie? Iman Shumpert broke up with Tiana Taylor. What the point that I'm making is breaking up is the most empowering thing people do in relationships nowadays. If they didn't, ghosting wouldn't be popular. That's the point I'm making, sir. Go ahead. You can.
Yeah, I want to say that too. I think a lot of men want to see women kind of like following their sword, kind of thing. And I mean, I would say this: like, if your whole goal is to get someone to essentially kind of bend the knee, bow the knee, you know, kind of reach out and agony, oh, I was wrong, type of thing.
That's not going to.
Yeah. Nothing to do on your part. Like,
yeah. And even if you heal, you're probably not going to get what you want.
Yeah, like this is my thing. Like, even if the person that wronged you was to sit there and admit how wrong they were, was, you know, literally holding their bleeding heart in their hand to give to you, it really would not matter because you're not going to accept that anyway.
Right.
And I think it's better to be honest about that. That's not good enough for me. That I want to see this person, you know, harm, whatever the case may be. I want to see the person in pain. Whatever it is your thing is, I think it's better to admit that and get some healing from that than it is to try and shroud it in this whole, you know, where they don't acknowledge X, Y, Z. Like, bro, that's your personal issue speaking.
Man. Attila, guess what you did?
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. I'd love to get your perspective on tonight's topic, but I got to address the brothers real quick. Brothers, don't change the topic to women are not accountable. It's two broken people in the relationship, you and her. The point that I'm making, right, is what causes the relationship to not last? Yes, women have their issues. Yes, brothers have their issues. Stop making it about just the women. Right? You turn the topic into something that it's not. You know, I've yet to meet a woman that has been accountable. Okay, that's not the topic. The topic is when it comes to relationship, how long is a good thing supposed to last? Well, if you lack the tools, you're going to suffer from relationship obsolescence. When I come forward, more callers from around the country. I love y'all. Y'all my peoples. Cynthia Allen, you should call in. Cynthia, please call in. It's good to see you chiming in. Call in, Cynthia. I would love to hear your perspective. Yo, we doing good tonight. Monique's Journey. Thank you, Monique. We are doing really good tonight. I appreciate y'all. You can't be mad at a snake for biting you. Even if that snake loves. Ooh. Here we go. Here we go. Y'all brothers, yay. I need to hear from Truemonger. I need to hear from Ghetto Gourmet. I need to hear from my brothers too. Yo, we got this show lit tonight. I'm staying on point. Alafia, you know I need to hear from you, fam. I'm staying on point. We appreciate it. Thank you. Everybody, listen. Everybody should thank everybody for being able to share at this time of year. We appreciate it. Monique's Journey, thank you. I'm staying on point. That beard cut costs less than beard oil, Hanzo. Listen, man. It was just so damn long and Santa-y. Man, I was like, it was wizardy. I didn't want the wizard look. It was very Santa-y. I didn't like it. Cupid doesn't love. Give it a try. Cupid. Give it a try.
I look at love as like 4 dimensions. I look at it as the first dimension is like baby love. And when I say that, I don't mean the love that you have for your baby. I mean a person whose standards are love of baby. Because the babies, if I said, are babies loving, we all go yes, and especially with our daughter, we feel that completely. No question about it. You're right over there peering through the glass right now. I'm being so good. But it's the truth is they're only loving and happy when they're getting what they want. Right? That's because that's the stage of development. It's about me, as it should be at that stage of development. But some people are 50 and they're still doing baby love. They're angry if you don't give me everything I want. Those relationships, if they last, they don't last very long. They might last in years, but they don't last in love. Because nobody wants to be in a place where you're always trying to get something from me. As I said earlier, you want a place to give.
When it comes to relationships, how long is a good thing supposed to last? Well, that depends on how healed you are. No healing, no lasting. Ooh, no deepening of love. You're going to always find something wrong with the humanity in the person that you're dealing with. Did you hear? How can you find something wrong in the humanity of the person you're dealing with when you yourself are human? And there's something wrong with you. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We got callers on the line. Let's get him in here. Who's been on the longest? Sean, Oakland, California. Get in here.
Hey, brothers,
Yes,
so
sir.
my thing here is great conversation. So number one, I look, I've made all the mistakes. I just happen to be in a long-term relationship for 30 plus years. Doesn't mean I know anything more than anybody else. Doesn't mean I have magic and I know the answers. But we definitely work together. We work it out. But the number one thing I would say, and excuse me, is this. Number one, take it easy on one another. Okay, that's number one. Because I've been asked, though, a zillion times. So you guys
Wait,
have been together
wait,
so
Sean.
long.
I got to tell you
What's
this.
the secret?
I got to tell you this, Sean.
Yeah.
That's some of the best advice I've ever heard, and I'm gonna be honest with you. It's something that I haven't mastered yet. Take it easy on each other.
Yeah.
My girl used to tell me,
Yeah.
calm down. Just calm down. And that's very good advice. Go ahead, Sean. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, and I'm glad you spotlighted it because that is so important. Because let me tell you, people, you're going to come up with crisis, and that's the second thing that I would say is that you have to get out of crisis, and it may not be my situation of crisis. Where you could do a zillion cases of crisis where your relationship is happening and then something comes in out of your control that is so difficult you have to work it out together. And when you get to that point, the number one thing is you have to get out of crisis so you're available
Good
to
advice.
your children or other people in your atmosphere. So then you are the leader and or your better half is the leader. You're both leaders in taking you out of this in a positive way.
Man, Sean, guess what you just did?
Brother, I hope I took Oakland into the building.
Oakland is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building to join this national discussion, we got South Central Los Angeles. We got Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas is up next. We got Denver, Colorado. We got people from all over the country who want to chime in. Why do relationships not last? Why don't they last? Even the good ones, right? Even the good ones says, you know what? We just grew apart. Why do we grow apart? Right? Why do we lose the bond, the connection, the spark? What is it? I want to hear from you. When we come forward, we still got 2 lines open. If you want to call us 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we're going to Austin, Texas. You. You bet doesn't lie.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
All right, y'all. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Anybody in here who has $3, $4, $5 to put on the super chat, please do that. My lurkers in the background, can you pop in for a second and just say hello? Hey, I'm at work, I'm busy, I'm cooking, I'm watching, or you know, whatever. I'm breastfeeding, whatever it is. Just say, hey, how you doing, Zoe? Nice show, like the show. Where is Tapped In? Where is Nikki from the SIP? You know we got to get Nikki from the SIP up in here because we need food for thought. I want to get her in early if she's listening. Did I? Yeah, I did say breastfeeding. Yeah. Nazarene X, we ain't heard from you in a minute. You should jump in here too. I need to feed my babies. Not with the teat, though. What the fuck? We appreciate everybody for being in here. I've been trying. Hey, I don't know where Nazarene X has been. He know he's supposed to be in here. No, I saw the frogs. Christopher, what up? Thank you for tapping in. We appreciate you, bro.
Reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetish. Financial infidelity.
I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait?
Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
I like being crazy. The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
Oh, that right.
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I was like, this okay, well,
I'm pregnant. Betrayal has been committed. I hit you with a bad life routine. How does he maintain his verbosity?
I like it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
Karate man on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you make women so well?
So will you. Reason and accountability. The voice of reason.
More people look for salvation through relationship than in houses of worship. One may even suggest that romantic love has replaced institutional religion as the greatest motive power and influence in our lives. The search for love has replaced the search for God. Half of all first marriages end in divorce, as do 2/3 of second marriages and nearly 3/4 of third marriages. Most non-marital relationships also end in separation. Of the relationships that do last, many are unhealthy and unhappy. Most relationships, in other words, fail. In some cases, it is infidelity, abuse, or a clash in personality, beliefs, values, or life plans that causes a relationship to fail. Many times, however, it is the result of one or both partners burdening the relationship with a fantasy that it will cure all their personal problems. This belief that a romantic relationship will unlock a life of happiness and fulfillment, the psychiatrist M. Scott Peck called the myth of romantic love. And in this video, we explain how belief in this myth destroys one's capacity to cultivate the healthy and realistic love that sustains fulfilling relationships. For as M. Scott Peck writes, the myth of romantic love tells us that when we meet the person for whom we are intended, we will be able to satisfy all of each other's needs forever and ever, and therefore live happily forever after in perfect union and harmony. While I generally find that great myths are great precisely because they represent and embody great universal truths, the myth of romantic love is a dreadful lie. As a psychiatrist, I weep in my heart almost daily for the ghastly confusion and suffering that this myth fosters. The myth of romantic love is
Okay, you're just going too far. You're waxing poetic. Let me get back. Love is the highest level of consciousness. Consciousness is just another word, a synonym for awareness. God, consciousness, and love as words are synonyms. Do you understand? It is the highest level of consciousness. It's what the Buddhist would call moksha, or what the people who live in the Indus Valley in the country of India call nirvana, right? It's what self-realization folk call self-realization. It's what Abraham Maslow called self-actualization, where you reach the pyramid of oneself. Do you understand? It is a level of consciousness. Because we live in a transactional society, a capitalist society, a materialistic society, they have made love a verb, a set of actions. If you love me, you would do this. No, I'm a human. I might do some of that some of the time, but I may do something that's unpredictable, not only to myself, but definitely to you. Do you understand? Many people get it twisted, right? Love doesn't shield you from hurt, but love actually has the power to transmute hurt into elevation, into spiritual elevation. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it that way, but that's what it is. We've got callers on the line. I'm sorry for waxing long-winded. Let's get my brother in here, Reggie from Austin, Texas. Get in here.
What's up, bro? It's good to talk to you, man.
Man, much love, brother.
Always. Okay, first, we're not talking about transactional relationships or just superficial stuff. We're talking about relationships that got together out of the highest consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
So that puts things in a different class altogether. I think it's two reasons why things don't work or why they don't last. The first is that we're chasing a feeling, and we want everything to feel good to us. And if it doesn't feel good to us, then we want no part of it. We kind of shy away from it. But some of the best things in life don't necessarily feel good all the time.
So wait, you brought your apron. You brought your apron, huh? You got your apron, you got your knives, you got your spice rack, and you got, boy, you finish. Go ahead, finish, Reggie.
All right. And you can't get caught up in your feelings. You know that the feelings are ego, right? And feelings change when the wind blows. The second thing is relationships, like marriages, are testimonies. And it's a testimony that your community has what it takes to survive.
But what are you surviving? Wait, Reg. It's too much meat left on the bone of that. What are you surviving? What are you called to survive?
Your humanity.
Come on, Reggie. Come on.
You're surviving your humanity. You're surviving growing from one level to the next. And growth isn't always pretty. That's what you're surviving.
Reggie, hold on, Reggie. You a pastor, brother, and you are hitting us so hard right now. We have to reiterate certain things. You said the marriage calls us to survive each other's humanity.
Yes.
Can you go deeper, man?
Man, it says that we're trying to be the best people we know how to be. And growing from one type of person to the next. Because we're trying to get better every day. And your growth isn't always pretty. And sometimes your growth is really, really unpretty, really ugly sometimes. But that's what you need to do to get from one level to the next. And you are hurting each other in the process. You're just being fully human. And man, that's not always pretty, bro. That's not. So do I have the patience and do I have the compassion to bear you being you? And do I have the compassion to bear me being myself? Like that's a legitimate question that needs a legitimate answer. And a lot of times we don't want to have that question, so we kind of shy away from it.
real. And I think a fractured community is what kind of perpetuates all that. You know, your whole community can see you and your partner struggling, and they'll just sit by and watch you struggle. Man, that's not a community. That's a bunch of people living next door to each other.
And if you can and if you can only be in a relationship when it feels good, what does that say about you? Your maturity level, your spiritual maturity level, what does that say?
It says that you're not deep. It says that you're a mile wide and an inch deep. That doesn't work. And you got to go deeper into yourself.
Okay.
Who you really are.
I got to ask you. Give me your interpretation of this quote. The wound is the place where the light enters. That's Rumi. The wound is the place where the light enters.
It says to me the things that hurt you most and the things that are the ugliest sometimes are the starting point to you being the best self.
And that's you just telling us that marriage calls us to do what? Survive.
Our best self.
You
And survive our humanity.
man.
That's what it calls for.
Man. Marriage called somebody meme it. I need to see that all over Instagram. Marriage calls us to survive each other's humanity. Wow.
Yes. Yes. Do you have the patience to bear your partner's humanity? I mean, and the thing is, like, can you love them without judgment and allow them to grow into being their best self?
Wait, and keep going.
Knowing that growth might not be tomorrow.
Wait, add the flip side of that. Can you love them without judgment while still loving yourself without judgment? As you both continue to come on, Reggie.
Grow. Yes. Yep. I mean, and both of y'all are growing. And it isn't a path for you to do foolish, foul things to each other in the midst of your growth. But your honest growth is going to be ugly enough. You don't have to do foul things to each other. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, and I think that's what it is, all right, this is science experiment. And there's some control variables, there's some uncontrolled. And, you know, are we going to do this honestly and legitimately so that when tragedy comes, we just don't give up because we hurt? Nah, we stay in there because I've seen the worst in you and I stuck by you anyway.
Oh, and it makes you more valuable. It makes me more valuable because I was there as you were leveling up. I was there as you were struggling. Come on, man, Reggie.
You were there, and you can testify that I saw you struggling. You could have given up, and you didn't. All right, because you didn't give up on yourself, I'm not gonna give up on you.
Man,
that's something that we need to ask ourselves. Can you bear your partner's worth and love them at your best? But
we live in a different time. Nowadays I ain't got time for that. I'm ready for the soft life. I don't want to do that. I'm not here for that. I didn't sign up for that. But that is the spiritual call to action. Reggie, let me just say this, man. What did you just do, brother? Hey, he brought Austin, Texas in the building. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building and join this national discussion, if you can't feel the heat coming off this topic, I don't know what to tell you. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. When we return, South Central Los Angeles, Denver, Colorado, and Nikki from the SIP. Woo! That boy Reggie different. Reggie? What y'all think about tonight's topic? Can I get some feedback? Can we continue to support the channel? Can we continue to hit the super chat? Can we continue to hit the like button? Can we continue to support? Where are my people at? People who are unable to do it, I'm not talking to y'all. People who have already done it, I'm not talking to y'all. People who can and haven't done it, I'm talking to y'all. Hit that super chat button right down at the bottom of the chat. It's that little $sign. Please show your support, show your love for the challenge, for the channel. I'm staying on point. You know you need to call in. You know you need to call in because we got to get your insight. We got to get your perspective. I'm staying on point. Get on point. We got some space in here to get you going. We're going to get Cali Soul in here. Listen, we got to get J-Dub from South Central out the way first. He been on the longest. All right? We're going to move through these callers real quick. Thirty seconds.
What we often think is that once we commit your mind, and the long series of songs and poetries and proverbs that have fed a kind of romantic possessiveness have often led us astray. The verb for love is to have. The verb for desire is to want. And to want requires us sometimes to have a little bit of a psychological distance, a sense of otherness, a bridge to cross, something or someone to visit on the other side, so that in between me and you lies this tension called the erotic elan. And I began to think about this dialectic, this tension between closeness and space in terms of love and desire. And the question that I would ask is, I am most drawn to my partner when? Not sexually attracted only, just most drawn to. The first one you're going to hear is that I'm most drawn to my partner when he or she radiates. Radiates. That's probably the best word for it. It's another word for confidence, but it's confidence with illumination. Because I am looking at this person who is already genuinely so familiar and is momentarily once again somewhat unknown, somewhat mysterious, somewhat elusive. And in this space between me and her lies this erotic elan. But it's a space in which what is generally so known becomes momentarily once again somewhat unknown, so that I can explore and first and foremost be curious.
Oh my God. Are you hearing the essence of spirituality in relationships? So many of us are focused on you delivering to me what you said you would. And so many of us are focused on saying what I'm going to do for you in order to get you. Man, she said you are most attracted to your partner and they are most attracted to you when you radiate. What are you radiating? Fear, ego, shame, guilt? Or are you radiating love? Are you radiating self-acceptance, self-love, self-approval, self-acknowledgement? Whoo, this is fire. All right, listen. We got all sisters on the line right now except for one brother. So I'm going to get this brother out the way so the sisters can speak. JW, South Central, get in here.
Hey, my brother. Yeah, I was driving when I first heard you make the comment about spiritual immaturity. And it made me think about every time I call in, I can wait to get home so I can give you a call. Because I always make that reference in terms of God's creation and relationship and being emotionally immature.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to go through a growth process in terms of what, kindergarten, junior high, high school, and then university. You know, and that's all about God's order and structure and the whole process of how He rules and governs. And back to when you made the comment about the woman always wishing for that hero, I call it hero mentality. That's that fancy of dream or narrative or it's a thought process that's not correct because it's not a reality. It's a dream or a thought or a fantasy. Disneyland.
I got you. And some men be wishing for a hero too. They be wishing for their mama to be their woman. I understand, brother. I understand. But guess what you just did, J-Dub?
Brought LA, South Central into the house because it's all about human nature, but you gotta accept each other as they are. That's the bottom line, because no one's Jesus Christ, and so when you made the other comment about, oh, he's not that guy, so I gotta get rid of him. Well, hell, he's a human being. Bro.
That's right. There you go, J-Dub. You brought South Central in the building. You want to bring your city? You know the deal. 1-800-920-1580. All right, let's get to these powerful sisters. Who's been on the longest? Cali Soul, Denver, Colorado. Get in here.
Peace, bro. Peace, KBL family.
Yes. What up? What are your thoughts?
Well, we live in a society that believes in microwaves and everything. And it's been a buildup of, like, tolerance to microwave meals, right? So we treat our relationships the same way. And then what ends up happening is we want the shine, the glitz, the glam. We want the outcome without the work. So, like, people will say, oh, yeah, I want a relationship like my grandmother's and grandfather. Well, they went through a lot of things.
Right.
Pushed through. They even broke up sometimes and came back together, right? But, like, that's what longevity and perseverance and understanding and patience and all of the real attributes that we need to pursue a loving relationship is about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can't just, expect somebody to show up a complete, finished.
Pre-assembled.
Yeah, like, Grandma was praying in the closet. Granddaddy was praying. Like, they did different things to go through. And we, like we're having this conversation, and this is like, maybe 3 generations that we're looking at. Folks in their 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe even further, right? But just think about how these young people are going to do. Like, our generation, at least we've got the words to put to it. The younger generation, they're not even used to communicating with each other with their words. They're not used to using conflict resolution, deductive reasoning, and stuff like that. And that's not all of them, but a fair amount of them. And they're being taught to look to media. And again, a lot of these stories that are playing out in the media, it doesn't show the hard work. It doesn't show moving through and persevering and building with one another, working through problems. It just shows, the outcome, the ring.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's 100%.
The house.
Right.
The cute little kids. It's like, somebody had to get up and have restless nights with them cute little kids. Snotty noses, poop all over the place. I want to go somewhere, you want to go somewhere, but somebody got to watch the kids. Like, there's so many different things that come up in relationships that people don't see on an everyday. And because of that, they've created some alternate reality that they actually believe in. So, when adversity come up in a relationship, then it's like, oh, I'm out. I don't got to deal with this. And another thing I have to say is, like, the relationship part is the human experience.
Ooh, come on. Oh, come on, Callie. Callie.
The growth, that's the spiritual side.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're more concerned with our spiritual side, which, okay, I'm here on this earth having this experience as a human, so there's going to be fleshly things that I want to experience that are attached to the human experience. But if I'm really focused on the spiritual side, then the growth is...
Wait, Callie. What you're saying is so profound. And I want to put this piece of wisdom out based on what you just said. And I just want to say this. Don't seek or don't wait to experience something worse than what you have in order to learn how to appreciate what you have right now. Sometimes people in a relationship will leave it thinking it is the worst thing they've ever experienced until they get into the next situation that proves to be even worse. And that's when the appreciation for what they left, for what they could have worked on, for what they could have healed with that person, now they start thinking, oh, I should have worked that out. Let me reach back out. Don't do that. Hold tight, Callie. When we come forward, the voice of reason going to wrap it up with Callie Soul, and then we going to the Mississippi Sip. Do you know that song that Whitney is singing? Do you know that song was supposed to be for Dolly Parton? I mean, it's Dolly Parton's song, but it was supposed to be for Patti LaBelle. Did you know that And I Will Always Love You was supposed to be for Patti? I would be interested. Patti would have ripped that shit, boy. Patti would have tore that mug up. Yo, we haven't gotten a super chat in a long time. Where are my peoples? We're asking that everybody drop $3, $4, whatever you got. And I'm not talking about the people who have already done it. The people who already done it, thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, we love you, we love you. I'm talking about the folk in here that haven't done it. Can y'all hit that super chat? Can you show your love? Hit the super chat, show your love. Hit the super chat, show your love. Can you do that for me? Holla at your brother. Holla at your brother. Hit that super chat. Oh, it's on YouTube? I'm going to have to check it out, Latoya. Twos and Fuse in the super chat. Get in there. Twos and Fuse. Hit the super chat and or Cash App. If you shoot it, hey, if you hit the Cash App, I get it right now. Don't got a dime to my names. I told you if you ain't got it. I told you, Latoya. You ain't got to say you ain't got it. You ain't got to say you ain't got it. If you ain't got it, you ain't got to say it. I understand. And I've already prefaced that. If you ain't got it, I understand. But if you got it, hit that super chat. If you got it and you ain't already done it, hit that super chat. Latoya Young, you ain't got to worry about it now. Is it me? Or did this show just fly the hell up out of here? Did this show just take off? Is it me? Man, is it me? Blue Mom, how do you feel about Jamie Foxx? I think Diddy did it, and now thereafter. It's a totally different conversation. Who is Blue Mom? I don't know nothing about them folks. That's all right. It's okay. I don't know nothing about them folk though. Hey. I'm a fan, Zoe, just tuning in. Oh, it ain't nothing but love. Trust me, it's nothing but love. And I'm a fan of yours, Blue Mom. Yes, sir. Aja, thank you. Thank you, Aja. Yo, we on fire tonight. Thank you, Christopher.
Last clip.
So I got this two-timing chick who got her revenge from when I was on my two times hit. And even when I tried to correct it, she couldn't get past how she was disrespected. Neglected my effort, a third with no trust. 30 games and affairs that be tearing us up. If things are picture perfect, is it really worth it? I have an idea, but I need to make it certain.
The mysteries of love, romance, and how relationships work in general has been studied by psychologists for years. There have been countless studies, surveys, and theories all dedicated to enlightening us on the matter. In spite of their best efforts, it seems that we're still genuinely somewhat clueless when it comes to matters of the heart. In fact, there has been a startling rise in separation and divorce rates over the past decade. This has us shaking our heads and wondering, why are modern relationships so fragile? Let's try to find some answers. Here are 7 key reasons why most relationships nowadays fall apart so easily. 1. You're not ready yet. All too often, our relationships dissolve because you're simply not ready to be in one yet. Maybe your needs at the time are to keep things casual and fun, not in a state of serious commitment. A strong, healthy relationship is all about positive compromise, dedication, patience, and sacrifice. Modern relationships seem to have a lost sight of that. The unrealistic standards set by mainstream entertainment and social media train us to think that a perfect relationship should be one where we're always happy, with zero conflict, and we're perfectly matched for our partners. We need to understand that this is like believing in heavily filtered Instagram photos. It's not the real or full picture. Once we can accept that, we can move forward towards being ready. 2. You're too busy to settle down. Modern society values success, hard work, and accomplishment. So people nowadays have become more competitive and ambitious than ever. It feels good to be the best in class, at work, being the most popular. To be the best, there is a drive to get into prestigious universities or be promoted to the top of the corporate ladder. With so many other...
Man, that's all I'm saying tonight. You're gonna have to put some work in somewhere. It's this is more comfortable than the last. Okay. Again, unless that person was an intimate terrorist, you could have worked it out with him. Well, I know you don't want to hear it that way. When it comes to relationship, how long is a good thing supposed to last? Well, let's invert that. How long is a bad thing supposed to last? What if a good person, you and your partner are good people, but y'all started the relationship off on the wrong foot? And sometimes you had to stumble into the relationship's greatness. How long will the bad thing last? See, we want everything to be all good for as long as it can be. I've seen people give up on people when they needed them the most, when their hand and knee was on the ground because they had to kneel to their circumstance. I've seen people give up on somebody they so-called loved. I've seen it happen. That's when your partner needs you the most. When your hand and knee is on the ground. When life makes you take a knee, your partner is supposed to be there to help you stand back. I know you ain't ready for it. Let's get Callie Soul's final thought on this. Callie, what's your final thought?
My final thought is this. The relationship doesn't have anything to do with love. Love can't be explained, encased, encompassed, categorized, or anything like that. The purpose of the relationship is for the growth. The common denominator that shows up wherever you are is you. So it don't matter what person is in front of you for whatever ship you decide to be in. Companionship, friendship, relationship. Ships carry cargo from one place to the other.
Come on.
In this situation, lack of understanding to life. That's the purpose of the ship, no matter what you want to label the ship. The love doesn't have anything to do with it. And if the common denominator that shows up is me, then that means any problem that I say that there is, any greatness that I say that there is, that came from me.
Wow. Well, Callie, guess what you just did?
I brought Denver into the building.
Denver, Colorado is in the building. Listen, if you want to bring your city, you already know what I'm doing. The phone line, 1-800-920-1580. So many people are up in here. Now, people want to talk. It's a national discussion. I love it. And you already know where we're going. Nikki from the SIP. Oh, Lord, here we go. Let me get out of her way. She's got food for thought. Talk to us, Nikki.
What's up, brothers and fam? Just a few things to consider. Sean and Reggie, because they just blew up everything tonight. Sean, because he always reminds us to take it easy on ourselves and each other. We can't get to what Reggie was talking about relative to marrying another person's humanity, where marriage is concerned, without having taken it easy on ourselves. I think that sometimes in our human experiences individually, we forget that, well, for me, I put it into sort of an easier way to understand. I got a simple mind. It's really only 4 kinds of people. They either add, subtract, multiply, or divide your life. And there are really only 2 categories of relationships. The ones that come to stay and the ones that come to leave. Now, the 4 kinds of people, 2 of those kinds, you have to beg to leave your life anyway. They never go voluntarily. But it's very important that we do that inner work so that we can identify which of those 4 people around us are and which of the 2 categories of relationship we want to put people in. To view a person's humanity, if we're approaching each other from an intimate perspective, you have to go into that, to me, understanding that the probability of you seeing all the manifestations of ugly throughout their relationship is probably going to happen if they're going to stay. Or you allow them to stay. Normally the ones that come into your life to leave, you're going to pretty much see the ugliness pretty quick. My best friend in the world is dying. She has been, this is her 3rd round of cancer, and she's not going to win this one.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Me too. And I'm saying that because I want the fam to understand how that's relative to the question, which was, how long should these relationships that we value, even the intimate ones, friendships or more, last? All relationships are only going to last for a season.
Even the good ones.
Those are the ones, and that's why I'm saying this.
Mm-hmm.
Because when those are gone, the longing that you have to have those minutes, moments, seconds, hours, months, years, days back is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And because we don't approach well, because we're all with our relationships understanding that once we decide what category and what kind of person it is, this is why we can't waste our time on people who subtract and divide us.
Ooh.
We need for them to be able to leave quickly. So much of our time is spent on those two. It sometimes stymies us in our ability to get to the ones that we want to stay, that add and multiply our life. Hopefully, in our intimate relationship, that's called a husband or a wife.
Mm-hmm. Nikki.
And I just want everybody to raise their consciousness where that's concerned. Because when those people are gone, it takes a great amount of humanity to know how much time you have. We're all dying, but few of us have been given months or days of them.
Mm-hmm.
When you got to stand in the gap with that person while they're going to this place they can't come back from, you got to be cut for that.
Right.
The same thing happens in our intimate relationships, which is why you keep trying to educate us so that we don't waste our time on those subtraction and division people. I'm telling you, this walk with this friend, and I'm in the healthcare world, so dying is not foreign to me.
Right. So wait, Nick, because you cooking, I gotta come forward. I got, just stay with me, Nick. I'm gonna come right back to you. When we come forward, Nikki is pulling at the heartstrings tonight. It's on fire. Man, Nikki. I love Nikki, man. Woo! Nikki. Yeah, peace to your heart, Nikki. Nikki, peace to your heart. Peace to your friend and her family. Peace to their heart. Nikki, I don't know if you know. You done saved. True, hold tight, True. Nikki, you done saved somebody's life tonight. I don't know if you know that. I don't think you know that you have saved somebody's life tonight. And what you, man. Just remember this, life is so inverted and twisted and flipped. Everybody's guru is somebody's charlatan. And everybody's charlatan is somebody's guru. Some people may see you as a beacon of inspirational light, while other people may see you as an intimate terrorist. That piece about the people who divide and subtract, if a person can't see the light of who you really are, fuck. Do they need any time in your life? And here's the even worse part. Maybe they see the light of who you are, but they could care less. It doesn't have value to them. They treat you like it's a can of condensed pet milk. on the cabinet. Nick is saying not everybody replaceable. Nikki is saying the real ones, you're going to have a hard time filling the hole. You're going to have a hard time filling the gap. The prophet is without honor in his hometown. You better recognize the book of Mark. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know my playlist is amazing. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580. The voice of reason is on fire. We've come full circle after coming forward. Let me get my friend Nikki from the SIP back in here because she was on absolute fire. Nikki, let me get your final thought because we're getting up against the clock here. What is your final thought for us tonight?
Just for everybody to remember, whatever it is you're vibrating out into the world, I promise it's what's going to show up in your life.
Ooh, there it is. Nikki, I love you. I appreciate you.
Love you right back.
And peace to your family's heart. Guess what you just did?
How about the SIP in the building?
The SIP is in the building. Everybody send some prayers and love out to our friend, your friend, Nikki from Mississippi. We got to run through these next callers really, really quick, okay? So let's condense our thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Let's condense them because we got 7 minutes, less than 7 minutes. Let's get it going. Who's been on the longest? I'm staying on point. Get in here.
Alafia family.
Alafia.
Really quick, I tell the people, my friends, that are getting married, don't fight each other, fight for one another.
Come on, fight for me, please. Fight for me. Put your gloves on and beat the spirit down for me.
You know, because we already got to fight the outside world, so it's pointless to use that energy to fight each other. You see, use that time, use that energy to come up with solutions on how to be better and make better moves so y'all can move forward. Lastly, I can say that it's almost like being in the sales world for anybody who has to sell anything, independently, I should say. They always say, remember your why. That's why they ask you in the beginning, what's your why? Why are you starting this business? Why are you starting this relationship? And when you define your why, when you come against those times that are unfavorable, you can think back to what is my why.
Love it, love it, love it. Guess what you just did? I'm staying on point. LBC in the building. We all over the nation, and we're in Los Angeles. Get it cooking. My brother Truemonger, Dallas, Texas. Get in here. Yes, sir. Your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Oh, man. some really the process to think about how long is a quote-unquote good relationship supposed to last? It's supposed to last as long as it serves its purpose. Ideally.
Okay.
Everything is very temporary.
Right.
We're going to check out. We're not going to be here. So, the value the relationships you have, whether they last a long time or they're a short time, learn from one another. Try to respect each other as much as possible. Try, if you can't do that, at least be cordial.
Right.
I mean, like on the last call was saying, we spend too much time fighting against the world as it is. Shouldn't have to come onto a fight, but a lot of people do. And they take that for granted because they think, oh, it's not that serious. People are always going to be there, and that's not always the case. So we got to learn to appreciate each other better and look at each other as people, not as objects or sponsors.
That's right. Truemonger, guess what you just did, good brother?
Well,
those girls in the bed.
Dallas, Texas, on fire. Hey, let's keep it going. We're going back to Mississippi. Cynthia, who is also Nikki from the Sips friend. I hear you sound just like Nikki. Talk to us.
Hello, everybody. This is my first time talking, so I appreciate it. Much love to my friend Nikki who told me about you, but I wanted to say that she and I talk all the time, and I tell her that 75% of me is never going to be the person that does wrong, but that 25% is going to be playing awful. I need you to love the 25% so that the 75% feels like a bone. People love to see the light in you, and they're attracted to the light, but you got to make certain in a relationship that you're not the only somebody bringing the light. I don't mind if you got a flashlight if I have a lighthouse light, but you got to bring something. And if I only need your love, and I only need this relationship to be positive, then you'll only live on the positive, and you'll die when I criticize. And so with a relationship. So in terms of loving people, you have to know that love, that euphoric state that people like to have when you live in this high place where the sun is beaming, and it's like somebody calls it the closet of Narnia. When you actually get to this retort, and you say that's fine, but that's not a place you live. You can reach the mountaintop, but nobody sits on a peak. You get up there and look over, but you come down and you grow in that valley. So I need that valley to be the place where you and I fertilize each other. That's when it's a lot of rain and when it's just a stream.
Did you hear her say fertilize each other in the valley? God, Lord have Cynthia, if you don't start calling in here every night like Nikki and bringing this old Mississippi good cooking, I appreciate you. You brought the sip in the building. Thank you so much, man. Listen, it took me a year to get women to call into this show. But boy, the women are calling in and they are sprinkling us right now. Woo! Let me say this. They are sprinkling. Emotional impermanence is a fundamental aspect of human existence. Our emotions are ever changing, flowing like a river, and it is natural to experience anxiety when faced with the uncertainty and unpredictability of our emotional landscape. In the context of relationships, this anxiety can be heightened as we invest our hearts and soul into the connection with another. To cope with emotional impermanence and reduce relationship anxiety, there are several strategies that can be employed. Seeking therapy or counseling is a powerful step towards exploring the root causes of relationship anxiety and developing coping strategies. A trained professional can provide guidance, support, and tools to navigate the complexities of emotions and relationships. Through therapy, individuals can gain insight into their fears, anxieties, and learn healthy communication skills and develop self-soothing techniques. Listen, we're going to be in and we're going to be out, but guess what? We're going to keep these topics coming. Do you understand me? The fire's going to keep going. My friend, your friend, Jill Monroe. You already know what it is. RSVP with Jill Monroe up next. The fire continues. I'll see you tomorrow with another slapper. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Great topic. Fire show today. Thank you guys. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow with another one, all right? Deuces.